I've dropped the quality a little bit. Alright. I think we're good. Do we still have sound? Good. Let's get started.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Press play again.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Yep. It had to do with the way we were, the graphics. So graphics are going to be garbage for a little while. We'll crank them back up once we're out of here. What is the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Alright. You mean the glowing thing I put inside?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
I don't know.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look?
How do I do that?
Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
I see an on and off button, and there's this thing in here that says production schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Yeah. This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
I'm now semi-neurotically alt-tabbing over to my OBS to check for dropped frames. We're still okay. We're still okay, I think. So, yeah. She sounds cold in the damp... The voice of the machine asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air. Is it my birthday?
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Damn. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
That's true.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
What are you? A machine? Or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
She repeats passwords. Where are you? How'd you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Some static, then.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress accident.
Pourquoi vous l'appelez Fortress Accident?
Fortress accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
Call-in radio games. What?
That's not bad.
What's this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
She drowns. Static drowns her response. You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. God damn it. That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old lady's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
I feel like Frank's not going to do anything until we have a password.
Shine on the keyboard.
Print.
Nothing happens.
Figures. Remove the production
The
schedule.
filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Yeah, boy. Don't you think it's weird, by the way, that this is still plugged in? Not only is it still plugged in, it's still operational. And she seems to be unaware that this is all gone.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
How do I know that?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
It doesn't look like that at all. It looks like a graph or a map. Of course, the anatomy of the curse. No. Supposed to be... We're dealing with something medical?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
It's game development. If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Why do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it.
He
The
nods
company
at the
was running out of funding.
wiping the marker-stained fingers clean. What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Doesn't it though, Nez? Doesn't it though? Oh, Kim wants to talk.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
I mean, the answer is they're game developing. That's clearly what they're doing. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Has anyone done that before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interinsulary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Yeah. And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people
He
love
points to the
that
chalkboard.
stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
What do you think happened?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Or were they? Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
The lieutenant tilts his head, thinking. The curse got to them. No. They're insane if they thought they could do this.
yes, especially in here.
Lieutenant looks around the derelict room. The pipes howl and rats across the floor in front of your feet.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. No wonder he wanted to talk to me before I reached that. Now, before we go further in, I want to point out that this little sucker is still blinking. Right there. Who's paying for power? Is it the old lady? Maybe. A fridge? Ooh, money. How are we doing, by the way? Have I stuttered any?
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
It's a polar bear.
The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the opened fridge door.
Let's take a look inside.
Look inside the
The
refrigerator.
shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
It's a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
Lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore?
I know.
Says the
What an
lieutenant.
unfortunate marketing choice.
Hmm.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points to the red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Close the door. Let's follow. A power generator is up there. Walls collapse, it's inaccessible. And this?
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
Lieutenant asks if when he sees you climb halfway inside the furnace. Not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really?
He looks at the
Should
ceiling.
investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
Hello? No. It's so dumb. Oh, that's tempting, though. That's so dumb. The voices I heard, maybe it's the malignant entity? Elysium says it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Hmm. Fuck it.
Something
Yes!
breaks loose in you.
Yes!
A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
Hear the woman's voice answer. Yes! Yes! This is the poop now. Are you over there? Speak to me!
Hello? Did you say anything?
There's a pause.
Can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
you hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Leave. So there are people back here. Ice cream maker defrosted and unplugged. Ooh, flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Can I not walk there? Kim, move. Oh my god, this pathing is something else, huh? Click on this. Pathing. Find your way. Oh, wow. Okay. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shines light in the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, me too.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Inspect the rifles.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This looks nice. Takes the rifle.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Why did we skip the beginning? An old Belle Magrave from the Revolution. Why is it replaced with "that's a rare sight"? Lieutenant notes with approval, his eyes gleaming. Where are we? Looks around the secret room.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Cache. Can I equip it? Really? No? Weird. Kind of surprised, actually. Handwritten note from the fridge. Right, Bills still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to a refrigerated door.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
The guys you aim it at don't need to know that. It's true. Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
You're talking about Dumb and Dumber.
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Remind me again. What's a filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
You have an idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Illiterate ginger kid, you think who I think?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
Lieutenant looks at you, the corner of his mouth curved in a smug grin. You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed.
Could it be
based on
God
our
himself?
encounter.
True. Wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Yeah, they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Put the note away. Interesting. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Alright, now I'm gonna let the AI take the wheel and path me back. You got this. Yeah. That might be an ice cream maker, but I thought this one was. Which means this must be the ice cream maker over there. Oh, you talked to Kuno? I started at the very beginning. He's Minjin, or whatever the fuck. Frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Bingo.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Try to crack open the lid.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
What a
If
coincidence.
you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Thanks. Oh, I can have both.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and
Pry
an
bar
electric
not
freezer
strong enough.
that appears to be frozen shut.
That's a fascinating minus 20.
This orange machine is buzzing.
Yes?
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Unplug the giant red cable.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Unplug the black cable.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
You know the actual reason? I did that because eventually that's going to defrost and we can crack it open. It's black. It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
That's not true. I did both. I'll plug the red one back in.
Somewhere in the dark, a giant electrical mammal stirs to life.
But we're keeping this one, which is the black cable,
This orange machine is dead still.
machine unplugged.
It has a
I bet over
hand-cranked ice
time
cream
this is going to
churner
get
and-
easier if I let it defrost nice and proper. Hear that? Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Insane mesh tank top. Wow. All right. All right. Wait. But Wait. This was boarded off. Huh.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Empty card.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Leave. Back in. Cellar window, people's feet shuffling by the street. Fascinating.
This orange machine is dead still.
We'll come back to this in a minute. Doesn't know our presence yet. Let's not make it known. Shoe in a puddle of melting snow. Can I take it? Ooh. Someone live here? Yeah, I just saw her. This tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. Dear God. Candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Dear God. We're in the realm of a gamer.
Hello, I'm Nia.
Bird-like woman sits on the throne of tools, with emerald light shining through her hair. Careful. Brenda's going in blind.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
What do you mean by milieu?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She passed the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Something else. Squints your eyes mysteriously. Answers. Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
I'd like some dice.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Cursed dice. Yes, she does. We don't speak of those. Please pray to your local dice gods. We do not speak of cursed dice here. I don't actually know what die I want.
How about an amber die?
Amber, a poor man's gold.
Who told you amber was cheap? It's beautiful, really, and has been treasured since the ancient times. For 7 real, I'll craft you a 13-sided die from a piece of amber with a fossilized insect. It's perfect for those who can't seem to let go of their past.
You're a fortune teller. You bitch. Ooh. Where, Ducky? We're looking for one of those. The Virgin, what a political alignment and capo type did you pick versus the Chad? Which dice did you pick? Yeah, the Virgin. Get out of here and burn her. Sounds like me.
I had a feeling.
She smiles but says nothing more. I need to think about it.
Maybe you have some other ideas for dice?
Actually looking for something to help with my work.
I think I have just the right one for you.
She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm.
You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it.
Totally overthinking it, -1. Catch the dice.
To overthink it. Your hands can't agree what to do, and the 2 dice drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions, like pearls from a broken string. The blue one disappears down the pit in the center of the room.
Ah, down the drain, like your career.
Jokes the dice
I
maker.
apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary.
Pick up the red die.
That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay.
Oh,
The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martinez.
she closes her desk drawer.
Now, was there anything else?
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then the woman under
Should
the
possibly
large
burn her
window.
just in case official police business. Ah. Gotta die for this.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
It's too far up. However, what did she say? What did she say her headphones mostly do? They teach you curse words in different languages. Mm-hmm. Do you often work on Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
Yes, but it teaches them curse words. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops trying to come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Pale light comes in. You never took your eyes off the window. Off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but
She
in
admits.
this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
Niz is freaking the fuck out because I'm obviously missing something. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
Thank you, visual
It's
calculus.
really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
I'd like to order some dice.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
I want to ask, do you have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
Magic pour Abracadabra. Perish like this world. Abracadabra. I had to shift to French to realize that's magic. It's cursed is my life. It's cursed is this commercial area. It's cursed is this commercial area.
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
No. Back
Maybe
off.
you have some other ideas for dice?
Ghost die
What do you
again.
mean by cursed?
As my life.
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
Deal.
Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
I want to know the others. Can I order another?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer.
Alright. Where are we? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Excuse you. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Creative.
The lieutenant looks around the spacious room, the ceiling fading into the shadows above. $11 p.m.? No. It's 17:25, which means that it is right now 5:25 p.m. In 8 hours, it's going to be 1:25 p.m. I mean 1:25 a.m. Yeah. Mm-mm. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
She adjusts her scarf that covers her hair.
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Really? I don't remember this. terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright. What about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving. You mean like the...
Fritta does the same thing.
Yeah. I know a girl just like that. She works in Fritta as a cashier and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually,
Probably because of
Revachol
the fur of
ICT
the
lost
bear.
the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
The bear was doing its best. Once you get used to 24-hour clock, the math gets easier. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, my brain went to 18 to connect it with 24, causing the error. Yeah, that happens. I'm sure the bear was doing its best.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
How come?
He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Very cool. The Ethereum?
Megatherion.
She nods
A
to
mega
Isley.
wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life.
Mine is a drowned rat in alcohol.
By telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
I've got a vision beast myself.
Do you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Don't worry, my vision beast is drowned. He seems almost sad, finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights her face. Oh.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every
I do
now and
too.
then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wiro.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
This is true.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean, chronically liberal?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway, as if she can still hear them chit-chatting behind the curtain in a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
There are rules lawyers, and then there are rules MMA fighters. Excuse you? Rules chess boxers, they do both.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
I would too hit someone with the steel chair for just suggesting we. Excuse you. Hey, Niz, exploding dice is a fun mechanic that can cause immense bursts of hype where critical nat 20s only cause brief instances. Imagine, if you will, a scenario in which a D. We're fighting right now. Imagine, if you will, a D20 system in which during skill checks had exploding dice. So once in a millennia, you could be blessed by the gods themselves and roll a 40 on a skill check that you have a skill of 1 in. Blessed. That would be 20 and a 19 for the record, because the +1 would bump you up to a 40. Blessed, based, incredible. It would also allow, more importantly, skill checks to be above the skill of 20 in a way in which can still be achievable at lower levels, but automatic 20s do not guarantee the success, thus making those incrementally more difficult rolls actually more incrementally difficult without a perpetual 5% chance of success, which I would argue makes less sense than exploding D20 skill checks. So, alright. Alright, undecent, I'll explain it because I don't have to type. Yes, what Where Ducky just said. If you roll a 20, or for the most part, exploding dice take place on D6 or D10 systems. So let's use a D6. So you roll a D6, and it comes up a 6. All right, so you take that D6 and you roll it again, and you take that original 6 and the roll you just got and add them together. But that another roll, if it comes up a 6, you do it again, and again, and again, for as many times as you get 6s. Which means theoretically, on a D6 with exploding dice, you could get up to like a 30 if you manage to roll 5 6s in a row. It's a fascinating system that I think should be explored for skill checks in D20 systems as a replacement for critical successes, personally. Or, as Niz has somewhat implied, adopt the degree of success system and completely drop critical successes. I would argue that you could have the degrees of success system in place with exploding D20s, and that would be more enjoyable than a D20 automatic success. I argue degrees of success with exploding dice is the more realistic format than a normal D20 auto success on 20. Thank you. How did we get to this conversation? Where did this come from? Verdun is on a shaky alliance on skill check systems. Talking to a die maker. Right. But how did we get to exploding dice? Where did this come from? Was it from chat? Ah, yes, it was Niz. Yes, of course. Getting violent over TTRPG rules. Yes, exactly. Anyways, D20 skill check. Alright, so real talk. Alright. I'm gonna say this. Alright. This is gonna make things really complicated for noobs, but I don't give a shit. Exploding skill dice plus the crit marker exploding d20s where critical hits on combat solely have to do double the attack value of the chance to hit. So if the chance to hit is a 16 and you get a 32, that's a crit. Way better than a perpetual 5% chance to do double damage, in my opinion. Additionally, Niz, hear me out. You could then have degrees of success on crit. Imagine, if you will, chance to hit is 16, you roll a 20, and then you roll again and get another 20. That's a 40, plus whatever bonuses you have. The 16. All right, 16 to 32. All right, that's a good. And then from 32 to 48, let's say your bonuses get you up to 48. That's 3 times damage, baby. Because that's another degree of success. Come on. You know you want it. You know you want it. Anyways. In the end, it just didn't get done. They didn't have the willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time. Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard.
And so is producing something extraordinary.
Her eyes wander over the shelves full of die prototypes and discarded models. Not your thing? Excuse you. Do I need to scroll up on my phone, which is a pain in the ass, and say, and quote you, saying, and I quote, "I'm a degrees simp." That you? That you saying you're a degrees simp? Also, by doing that, I fucked up my phone a little bit. Fuck. Give me a second. Ugh. Yes, distinctly without the exploding dice part. Yeah. Bigger numbers is not interesting degrees of success. I disagree. I mean, that's literally what degrees of success are. Traditional skill value tends to dictate that degrees of success is for every 5, 3, or 10, depending on GM, points higher than the difficulty roll that you provide as an additional degree of success. That's what degrees of success are. Unless you're going for the Shadowrun system, where any 6 on a D6 system is, on the batch of 6s you are a success, and all that jazz. But I'm not talking about that. Anyways.
Anything else?
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis,
I guess
the
that.
chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Okay. Interesting. What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Your smile widens before you see the lieutenant's face behind you.
Men like that are a curse.
Lieutenant is stern.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them?
I returned to them. Well, I mean, I could take them and sell them. Found creepy mannequins?
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What?
Mm-hmm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Yeesh.
And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the
Red?
most fashionable
Why'd you
tastemakers
say red?
refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains.
She
But
corrects you.
yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up.
Think those.
They're not moving.
Anything else?
Someone here makes stuffed animals. I saw mounts lying around. I didn't see
You
this.
mean
actually.
Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
Carl Pilkington dead fly shelf. Do you think it's an advanced reference? Anyways, what happened to the game?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Oh man, I love these things. So maybe that's what Kuno needs—a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno.
Rides
Who's
an arrow.
Kuno?
Sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
Look, she looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Sorry, excuse me. And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and
Must
that's
we
why he
incur
wanted
his
to
wrath?
start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Didn't really work, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
I feel bad about that. Used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
Thank you.
It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
We had a corner store boxing club that had to move because of terrible business. How do you mean? Could you elaborate? I'm curious what you mean by that. The customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She chucks a strand of hair under her headscarf. Oh, we're so close. What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess.
She sighs.
There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day.
Oh god.
What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed?
The corner is next to a street full of condemned and burnt down buildings. A lot of drug addicts and homeless people steal from the stores nearby. Only one grocery store is left on the block post-COVID. Wow, it sounds like you just have your very own west side of Revachol right at home, Niz. If you ever wanted to really experience the Revachol experience, convince everyone to speak French, and you'd be right at home. I'm sorry. That sucks, man.
What's the snuff milieu?
Let's not. No, I know what a snuff milieu is.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
You sure do, and I fucking slip away from it. What's a snuff milieu?
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims.
Yep.
Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Level up.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Lieutenant turns to you.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Then she lets the thought go. Leveled up from learning about live leaks. Oh, that reminds me. Break through him and I'm gonna have a brain blast. I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right.
She rubs
I
her
hope you
forehead.
didn't try to ring me.
Her scarf let out a faint line on her dusty skin.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
You're telling me the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
Actually, I had other questions.
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories,
She nods.
but
as
I
the
don't
wind
think
howls from
those
the
stories
French.
are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced this place is swirling with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady?
She raises her
I've heard
brows.
that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Do I lean into this, or do I just be honest? She's been nothing but honest with me. Asterisks. So let's be honest, Back. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own data to keep the company going.
Alright. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
We have to choose three. I'm sorry. No, the whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off, and the customers have trouble paying them.
And then there is me.
You sure did make things better, officer. Weird, Ducky. I'm the reason she took off, and I'm the customer having trouble paying the bill. She sighs. I assumed so, yeah. Looking at her messy work table, all kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
It's because you're competent and dedicated and passionate and skilled. Curse doesn't affect people like you.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
I'm tempted to do this only if I could sound sarcastic. I think that still might be you that's causing this. Narrows your eyes, very mysteriously.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave.
You seem mildly
Might I ask
entertained.
what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghosts of the Doom commercial area, and you're the one who answered. I yelled to summon the ghosts of the Doom commercial area, and you were the one who answered.
Oh my,
She-
I've revealed myself.
Mock despair.
You better call the exorcists.
I don't have to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself.
Of course.
She
How
pinches her
convenient.
nose.
Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
She turns back to her work.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She has been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see. Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so tempting. So tempting. So tempting. How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
That makes sense.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Smelly, though.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
That's true. That's true. All right, but hear me out. I fucking love lapis lazuli. Maybe not necessarily, that red stone, that red blood stuff, but like I love lapis, and I would love a lapis with like silver in it. I would. I would. I love that. That amber one sounded beautiful too. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not with the bug. I don't really want the bug in it, but like that one sounded really good too. I have more questions about this building.
I'm listening.
Actually, never
Good.
mind.
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Farewell. Brain blast.
Rigorous self-critique.
We ready?
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room
No.
and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will.
Jesus fuck.
That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past.
Harry?
You tried shooting a fleeing suspect
Whoa.
in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
I can't overcome it. But you said Harry. Int and Psi red check failures heal +1 more. That's fascinating. Learning cap for pain threshold raised to 6. This and most red check failures heal health. Fascinating. But you said Harry. Can I not point this out? You said Harry. You said Harry. What? Why did you say Harry? Am I supposed to know my name by this point? Wait a fucking minute. Harry. Oh. It's kind of cool. Alright, well, firstly, I need to unlock one of these. Volumetric shit compressor. Your shit is apart. It's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together. Compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that'll help. That's what we're leveling up today. But this said Harry. Is my name Harry? I'm not doing this one. I still refuse. Why is my pain threshold so high? Holy shit. That's insane. Yes, I know why, but you know what I meant. I should be able to ask her for a password. It's kind of weird that I don't have it. Actually, let's see if this number has gone down at all during our little time gone. Goddamn one. Have you melted?
This orange machine is dead still. This orange machine is dead still.
It has
a
not.
hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Slowly melting. We'll come back in 8 hours. We'll check on this too. However, we have somewhere to be. Remember, keep your butt cheeks clenched, everybody. Niz, that includes you. Thine cheeks be clenched. I wonder how much I could spook her, by the way, if I came in the front entrance again. Like, how did you get there? Ah. Alright, let's talk to...
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
She looks for the right expression. The dark sarcophagus. Pause dramatically.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
It was a Carnell charnel. house of... I shrugged in real life. I realized you didn't see that. It was a house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from the bookstore.
I knew it.
A tremor
Oh,
runs through
such
her.
horrors that have been thrust upon us.
She shakes her head.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
Did she actually give her name? I don't remember her giving her name. Shrug. Maybe she did at the very beginning. Did she? I don't know. I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Mia, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker?
Her eyes widen.
Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am. I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed. I know how to explain the curse.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down.
No, it fucking doesn't. It needs redirection. There is a bear underneath.
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Yes! Yes! The source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in the arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place.
Oh, how horrid! I knew something wasn't right about that place. Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
This is a good one because it doesn't put any pressure on me if the curse doesn't go away. I'm afraid I can only identify the source, but you have to call some other experts to lift the curse. Yes, I laughed at that one. However, she has a poster of Golemon de Million in the back. She may know who that is too. I'm not risking that one.
Oh, I see.
She looks at her pendant
I
back to
guess
you.
it's time to visit Boogie Street again. I'm sure that I'll find someone who can help me get rid of the doom that still remains in this house. Things are improving. I can feel it.
She nods.
Thank you, officer. Truly, you've brought a better psycho-emanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
She so badly wants this to be over. She would have believed anything.
It's so sad.
All right then. All's well that ends well. Should we return to our ordinary lives?
Farewell for now. I think Kim is not too pleased with me right now. Also, I want to point out, by the way, as I walked out, I had, I have a rifle, a cube, and a massive ball just bulging out of my pockets that were not previously there. And also a new shirt. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh my god. That's incredible. And also a fucking gun. Yes. Yes. Oh my god. It's not a shirt, it's more like a suggestion of a shirt. Alright. We're gonna have this on as a reminder later. And there. Perfect. Let's look at some books. I'm actually curious what's up here. The book collects national receipts of Arda. They're all about Lake Trout. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere.
Look through the display of books.
Rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the solipsistic Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man.
Good God. How many of these are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Heimdall and the false god. Man from Heimdall and the scorched earth. Man from Heimdall, the Heimdall colonies.
Yeah.
Man from Heimdall and the swamp beast.
That's a good one.
Man from Heimdall and the snow crabs.
Dear God. Is that all?
Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest of slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall, Heimdall burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Heimdall Man, and so much more.
I love that pain threshold is required to keep going. Let's try it.
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiation.
Pain radiation. I was one off, son of a bitch. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me I have something in here to increase pain threshold. Oh, thank God.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Look through the pile of Wirral-related
An
items.
endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Anything that really catches my eye.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
It does. It does. It's Warhammer. It's Warhammer. Oh my God, look at that box. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my God, that's Dungeons and Dragons. Oh. Oh, look at that box. Oh. That reminds me. We'll keep that off and that on modest. Alright, can you still hear the game? You can. Very good. Alright, the visual quality has improved again. Tell me if things drop.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over.
That's me! Look through the display.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Absolutely.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Dear God, Dick Mullen dies?
Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Oh, okay. Are there any more?
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales
When the
of
dick is
Mullen.
dauntless.
A dark tide
Yes.
turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer.
That makes sense.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Reaction speed. Who is Dick Mullen?
Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity.
What do we have here?
A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does this speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
Oh, it's gotta be something else.
Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere.
No, it's not. That's not it either.
Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky red dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on?
Yeah, no. What? No, that's not happening.
Yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly obvious. Relax. It's not that bad. Also, this means your blood flow is returning to normal. Good news, really.
Yeah, it is.
Something the matter, detective?
Kim, you described this woman as a smoking dame.
The lieutenant narrows his eyes and contemplates the book for a moment.
I would certainly say she fits the description, providing that's your type.
I was lied to. Where is she? Do you see her? Where is she? I was promised a smoking dame. Where is she? I was lied to. I was lied to. Please do not ask him this. It's a tome of fascist magic. Rather candid. Yeah. A quaint picture book brochure. Very colorful.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism.
Well, when is it not?
Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I feel like Channel 8 is a reference.
I really must insist you buy one of the books.
You're interrupted by the
Reading them is
shopkeeper.
not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
And the boring book, just discarded here.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Look through it.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
How does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything.
I can't believe that they would give you cancer in cold medicine.
Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Does this book say anything else?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder, preservatives, to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
Nothing. What? Did you? Okay. Nice thing.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins.
Have you been drinking
The board
this whole
has come
time,
loose
Nez?
from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Storekeep, can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is the one of Martinez so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new
Police
street
business.
lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
What happened?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Look at the map of Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48.
True.
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Look at the map of Revachol.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west?
Houdron, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then
I live there,
Forberg.
I think.
It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
And Martinez?
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Map of Insulinda.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
What else?
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands. All just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
It's you. Look at the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars,
Continents.
gods. But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust.
I'll buy the map of Martinez.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the
Treasure
upper
path
right
through the
corner.
grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally, coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
Alright, boys. Brain blitzed.
Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Bonuses? All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Hell yes. Everyone knows the most interesting things about fascists were their magic. Yeah. Alright. Although I'd love to take a jab at that corpse again. There's some people I need to talk to first, I think. I thought this was open at this point. Is it not? There's someone new here. Oh, that guy's still there. Jesus. It's all about money, you know? Yeah.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Gigadecimals. Yeah. They're not there today. Keep an eye out. Alright, okay. Find the traffic hooligan. Okay. Alright, we have it equipped. Shit's together. Let's get this goddamn corpse.
There he still is, looking right through you.
Shit
With
compressed
his
plus
white eyes.
6.
The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell.
If I still fail, I'm
Eating
gonna
it
cry.
is all it does now.
1 second. Alright.
There he still is, looking right through you. As you breathe in,
Yes!
the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides
Not even close,
and your
baby.
eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons.
Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by
You got it,
lividity.
boys.
A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders.
Got it.
The cargo belt
boys.
used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
On the top or top to bottom? Top to bottom. Inspect the
The
belt.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Don't ask me how I know. This is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind, for air transport. My brain tells me.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring. Oh, what am I doing, by the way? Kim. Official police business. The bottle stays out.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
He rises to inspect the news. We're assuming the dock workers from the harbor did this.
The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
No. They must have forgotten to brief me.
Then you should ask me the first moment we get.
Did they even get them up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Point to the buckle, tying the belt branch above. They climb up to using the kid's ladder.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
However, there was a lighter person in the group.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Although, assuming he meant gigapascals, and was thinking in the center of Jupiter, the only place I've heard with metallic hydrogen, he was almost exactly an order of magnitude off, which is interesting. Maybe that's the advanced joke here. Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Alright, look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm gone.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Who's that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I see you've gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you?
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I noted that too. Actually, it's the voice of the lizard brain. I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Coppo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips.
imagination.
Dear God.
Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up.
Yeah.
Copperoonie, Rooney. Yeah. This is getting upbeat now.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
Well,
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
physically nod towards Kim. Because he told me to.
You're a lying sack of shit, Coppo. You're doing this because there is nothing else to do. Everything else is over. It's just me now.
Why is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Well, Rooney's obviously not who I am.
Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
I feel like I've been getting a lot of Harry lately.
You might be onto something there.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Copo. It was love all along.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
Ow.
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
I was actually just 2 fingers, actually. Just in excitement. How dare you? God damn, encyclopedia's snapping back. A baby affected with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppellini.
Enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That's not what the text says. You can come back and look into his face anytime you want. Humor yourself with my Harlequin features. Ask me your little questions, freshen your memory, create associations, remind you of yourself as your morality. Copalapo. Why did the... That's weird. That's weird. Alright. From eyes down to
An
tattoos.
intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Is this a map of the night sky?
A map of the stars.
He turns around to breathe before inspecting it closer.
I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
By the way, Weird Ducky, fucking quote, fucking volcanic burn, unquote. Yeah, we fucking burned that corpse that was talking to us in our imagination. Yeah, we got him. Cappuccino, cappuccini, caparino, and cheese. Yes, cappuccino, cappuccini, caparoni, and cheddar. That's more accurate, yes. I'm missing something here.
So am I.
Sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Let the lieutenant work.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place in the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Points the camera at the corpse, peering into them. Then Kuno's gonna throw a rock at him.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
Thought he was saying he was a straw man, not a hangman. Could be both.
In case we need it.
Lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cool wind. On it's a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. And the rest of him. Cool machine.
Yes. It
Slices
is pretty cool, isn't it?
Camera closes and tucks away on his belt. What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Say nothing.
Here, a souvenir.
He hands you the
Don't
piece of
lose it.
rolled-up photo paper. It's no longer than a pack of cigarettes.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
How are we getting down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Stops to think, then checks his note. Sit back and have another
The
look
cadaver
first.
slowly
Right?
twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Cool creature, but metal. Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking
I'm gonna
plates
steal this man's
covers
boots.
them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
I agree, actually.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots. They're armor.
Indeed.
With his,
Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
with his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches to inspect the souls.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Forget about the notebook. Tell me about the armor.
It's clearly some manner of super armor. Or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
What kind of armor is it exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the hill. Fair weather.
Twist the boot
Fair
slightly.
weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information.
He nods
This
towards
is one
Tina.
thing he might actually know.
He's just wearing those boots and then the rest of the armor?
No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Nice. That makes sense.
Neither of these are true. We know they took off the clothes. We told them to strip before they hung. Did it mean him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Well, that's because we're in a video game that actually wants to be streamed.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Shut up.
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to.
Material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
Lieutenant draws a line in the condensation of the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
That's a lot, I take it?
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
No good he affords such expensive hardware.
That's for us to find out.
Checks his note.
Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report.
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
It's pretty advanced for security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Pull the boot off.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
Lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Let go of the boot.
What's wrong with you, asshole? Why is he letting go, Kuno?
I don't know, baby. I
Kuno
don't know
shrugs.
why he's such a...
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
Money. Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
That's something I need to know, corpse man.
Of course. You have questions to come back later,
Enough.
Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dream.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Come on.
This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink, thighs too.
I see it.
He adjusts his
His
glasses.
neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relaxes my eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
Delightful.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I think he was upright after death. His hand, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced.
So Reese Armburn would like the pink to be more pronounced, especially in the neck.
Maybe it looks faint to you?
He leans closer,
It
covering his
could be
nose.
more pronounced, actually. Dûment noté.
Elle est cependant être successfully noté. Maybe he was strangled by someone.
Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
Dead. World no longer stores its personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it has ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
He nods in agreement with his advanced piece of conceptualization, having mulled it over, Lieutenant says. Anyways. Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
Goddamn right, I'm not. Yeah. Turn around. We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
She's right. Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Let's get him down from there.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
No, I meant the kids, to be honest, but, you should exactly call the police. You have a point there.
Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands.
He covers his nose.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
The lieutenant remains unaffected.
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch, that's a good spot to aim.
There. The buckle holds the belt together.
Where?
He corrects his
Ah,
glasses.
yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Clad.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
God damn it. Get your shit together.
Remain collegial, officer. It was an honest mistake, and I will not repeat it.
Try again?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised.
He looks around at the windows overlooking the yard.
Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Can I have the gun? I should try.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks.
He pauses, then shrugs and loads the pistolet.
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
The piece shines in an outstretched hand.
They only have one gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Take the gun.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
Feel the weight.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
Well, Wereducky, now I have a gun.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Point the gun at Kunese. That could be funny.
Do it! Set me free!
Oh, damn.
Don't.
Feel the lieutenant's hand on your shoulder.
Do it!
Holy shit! Point the gun at the belt.
Intense shit, copper.
Holy shit, you could actually shoot her.
Fucker waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
Close your left eye.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the evening light. The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the gun sink up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Responded to provocation -1. Son of a bitch. Shut up.
Or what? You gonna fuck me?
Ugh.
You wanna wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
Give the gun back.
The lieutenant takes the gun carefully from you and holsters it. His eyes are narrow and he doesn't comment on your antics.
I wanted to scare her off.
Fucking pussy didn't shoot shit, did he? Didn't shoot me. Didn't shoot himself in the mouth.
What about the body?
We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have it taken down. They have the tools, and they have men.
Why didn't we just begin with that?
I did not want us to be indebted to Everard Clare. I wanted us to be able to deal with it ourselves. That is clearly not the case. We need help.
You need to suck my dick. Why the fuck am I still alive?
Who's Everard Clare?
The leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man. One you don't want to be indebted to.
What about the body?
We need to access the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to have
Alright.
it taken down. They have the tools, and they have men.
Okay. Damn it. I wanted to scare her off, but she's got nerves of steel. Holy shit. Ugh, I shouldn't have done that. I want to explain that to him, but first,
Yes?
tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
I can't remember a single thing.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Brief. Yes, that sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Wait, does the briefing say who the victim was?
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Why didn't we know everything about the caller?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Find the killer? Of course, I understand everything now.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
Right. Did you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Considers your question for a moment. Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Supernatural. White male in his 40s, what more do you need? Personally, I think labor disputes are very mysterious. It isn't mysterious, but could it be sexy? What the autoerotic asphyxiation? No. Very
Then you're in
mysterious.
luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the Dock Workers Union.
Yep.
Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
That's a good thought.
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case.
Wait, is this a strike? Or an attempted coup?
Strike, coup, revolution, it's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
Also, nationalism. Really, really smart. We've spent the last 20 seconds deciding on which side to ground into pig feet. Why?
Politics is habit forming and hazardous. It is also irrelevant to police work. You're right to doubt the impulse. It might be detrimental to our task here.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
If we're in different precincts, why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
He considers in the phrasing. What do you mean?
You don't know?
Size and arrow.
I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on? Retrograde amnesia. I don't remember it being in on anything.
That's good.
Tell me about it.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine.
You assume the
as if we
uncompressed
somehow
shit-stained
own
cop was in
parts
on the
of
pissing
city.
constitution?
Typical street gang mentality.
Well, he was quite pissed
So
when
we've
he saw
let
him.
the union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine. As if we somehow own parts of the silly, typical street gang mentality, so we've let the union make a mockery of our law enforcement here. Now it's time to come to the natural conclusion. Ah! So this is a struggle over who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
He leans in.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness.
Cop off you.
On the contrary.
Dumbest thing Kim said all day. True.
Somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills.
I'll touch on that in a second. However, I will counter that by saying, put yourself in Kim's shoes. You've met this boisterous, scum sleazebag-looking cop from the other precinct, whilst being fully aware that both precincts have been doing a pissing competition, who has consistently gotten sidetracked and seems very full of himself. I would assume that he was in on it too. Okay, here we go. Close your eyes.
The rows are endless.
Look for Precinct 41.
Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness.
So you volunteered this one. For some reason I thought you had 104 solved cases.
Well, technically,
Lieutenant
the
said some
official
shit
record
to me.
keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
Very small number. So you're still a good cop, right?
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a
Where, Ducky?
circus.
He mentioned he's solved 102 before. I've solved a bunch in like a few months, though. Like, I've opened a bunch in a few months. I haven't solved them, though. And it's implied I've been doing this for years. So he's done like 100 and something. It's implied I have like over 1,000. So I wonder what that says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raised an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move.
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
It's time. I know why. because the better of the two cops get stuck with the precinct. They sent their worst to sabotage this side. Probably have an unbelievable kill count. I'm gonna leave why I was sent unspecified.
The silence carries.
So you volunteered to spoil it?
Yes. I am an unrepentant spoil sport.
The lieutenant appears pleased with this. What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
Alright, that's enough of the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Logic, formidable. Why did the 41st send me?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
Bingo. Yep, that makes more sense.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if they sent my precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke.
I've considered it.
His voice is somber. So it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
You're a good friend. What is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Huh. So you are the finest. No. It's about me right now. Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Oh. I think you should know. The feelings going around in the alcohol. My stomach kind of fermenting its own alcohol now. I think you should know I can't remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
I feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There's heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
So what should I concentrate on?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
Fine.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Okay, forget it.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
It's one thing I want to try.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out, a metallic drawer.
No, I can't put
Pull
stuff
out
back in. I was
toolbox
going
slides
to.
back into its
Anyway, pick
nest.
up the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Damn it. Alright. I wanted to connect onto those radio frequencies
57, over and out.
that
In
were
the
on the
cabin,
board.
you see a set of steering levers.
Run
a
your fingers
radio
over
on a
one of the
hook.
steering levers.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
Tap the fuel heater gauge. This is gonna hurt.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button.
These as
It won't
ingenious as
start
keys.
without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere right now. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Close the door. Alright. First things first. Hey! Alright, we got something here. Fishermen's shacks and church to explore later. The cube. Hell yeah. Mirror? Policeman's cloak. What? Sleeping dock worker. Oh, these are showing locations! Pile of clothes. Bird's Nest Roy. Measure head. Warded door. Barbells. Ice cream maker. Novelty die maker. Oh, that's so good. And it's showing the difficulties too? Alright. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Yes. Alrighty. You're gonna be heading west tomorrow to fully explore everything. We've leveled up. Whoops, revert. We're going to level up right now, actually. We're going to, I'm tempted to unlock another one of these. So we will. And we're going to internalize Mazovian socioeconomics. And then I'm going to save and we're going to end. So, people think communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right until he woke up today. Harry, a spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of the Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 in the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51 tomorrow. Or maybe the day after, depends on the availability of Ms. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. It's nice to be back here. We are going to raid into someone by the name of Ashby Plays, who's currently making a character model for herself. She's like a VTuber character. She's making a model for herself for when she plays Nier Automata, because she wants kind of like an outfit for Nier Automata. If you like Nier Automata, or you like big boobied girls, stick around and see, because she is a nice, she is a lovely person. I think you'll like the model she's currently using and the the model she's making. So yeah, if you don't get taken along, we're going over there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you had fun. See ya.